All right, I have a poem. Are you ready to start, Gabe?
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess before we do we? As of right now, I have a one topic, and I know we have something. There's a comment that I think we could talk about, or not a comment, but whatever we call it, the submission.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The poll.
Yeah, there's one new one, and it's not bad. We'll make it work. Oh, they named themselves Dumb Fans since 1993. All right, I'm ready if y'all are ready. Y'all ready for this? Anything else? Anyway. Others. No.
Welcome to the Podumb, everybody. There's no poem this week.
Man, now that it's a bit, I'm not sure. Whatever, we're still starting with a poem. Others taunt me with having knelt at well curbs, always wrong to the light, so never seen deeper down in the well than where the water gives me back in a shining surface. Picture me, myself, in the summer heaven godlike, looking out of a wreath of fern and cloud puffs. Once, when trying with chin against the well curb, I discerned, as I thought, beyond the picture, through the picture, a something white, uncertain, something more of the depths, and then I lost it. Water came to rebuke the too clear water. One drop fell from a fern, and lo, a ripple shook whatever it was lay there at bottom, blurred it, blotted it out. What was that whiteness? Truth? A pebble of quartz? For once, then, something.
Byron.
It's better than I was gonna do.
But no one's gonna get it except, well, whatever.
Welcome to the Podumb, everybody. We'll explain it later.
Yeah, we'll explain later. I forgot about that. We have to talk about this.
Yeah, I had a couple responses to that, but I feel like that would have been the funniest.
What?
Say, like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I feel like that really sums the whole thing up, if we're being honest.
Sure?
Yeah, pretty sure. Like,
Okay.
if on a scale of 1 to yes, it's definitely.
Oh.
So, like, that's pretty up there.
Do you like me? Yes or no? Wait. I botched it. Do you like me? Yes, definitely, absolutely.
This is why Mabel gets guys. All right, she knows how to play the game.
Man.
Yeah.
Speaking of guys, who's the most handsome man in the world?
Probably Ryan Reynolds.
You know, he was on the list, but now I looked up pictures of Henry Cavill, and you know, I might have I might have to rearrange the list. That's all I'm gonna say.
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, like, here's one with him. He has a mustache.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Don't start with me, Gabe. You know mustaches are attractive.
No.
That's why they digitally removed them from movies.
Nuh-uh. All right, are we gonna have this talk right now?
Look, all right. If you just have the mustache and you're not a cop from the 70s, you're a pedophile. There's no spectrum. It's a yes or a no question when you have only a mustache. And then if you're Peter Dinkles, like, it's fine, I guess. because you're Peter, but like outside of him, like no,
What about Henry Cavill?
no,
What do you mean no?
the guy from Twilight.
No, that's Robert Pattinson, you fool.
I love that Luke knew exactly who I was thinking of. Yeah, but no.
Why not? I mean, look at that picture.
Yeah, but look at Ryan Reynolds.
What about him?
You ever watched the movie Waiting? No.
No, has
You're
anybody?
right, I haven't.
One of the best movies of all time.
Ryan Reynolds, mustache.
Listen, in Scott's defense, listen, Gabe, he doesn't just have the mustache. He's also got the good. He's got the good, like, kind of like. It's not
scruff.
quite a beard, but it's yeah, scruff exactly.
As long as it's not just the mustache is fine. But if it is the 70s cop mustache and you are not a cop from the 70s, it is not okay to have.
You actually don't. You actually don't like it,
No.
man.
That makes
Luke,
him
what
look like
about
he
you?
look. Yeah, he looks. Reynolds looks like a YouTuber in that photo.
Yeah, he really does.
He looks like iDubbbz.
Oh my
Forget
gosh.
that we have a Discord server text chat that I can just look at instead of like trying to figure out what are you guys talking about. It's already in front of me. I just have to
he's
Gabe,
pull
look
it
at
up.
Notifications
Gabe, look at that.
off.
Yeah, Gabe, look, when you see the photo of Ryan Reynolds, tell me that does not look like iDubbbz.
It looks like he's ready to say, "What's going on, everybody?"
Exactly.
Like-
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's that straight on shot. Like it's just there's no
Straight on, clearly he's holding the phone in his own hand.
Yeah, there's no rule of
'Cause, like-
thirds. It's very much just I'm in the frame and that's good enough. Yeah. So
You know
that
what,
was
Gabe? I may have a trump card for you.
Oh, I'm voting for Kanye, so it doesn't matter what kind of card you have. All right, so there's two
well,
exceptions to the rule.
Ron Swanson is. I mean, you can't top him.
But he's a 70s cop though. So like like he,
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute, Scott. I've got a trump card too. Hang on.
Do you?
Pull it up. Hold up. It's coming. It's coming.
I'm ready.
It's coming.
My body's prepared.
See?
like if there's a 70s cop movie, guess who's getting picked
And-
first for the role? Him.
Boom.
Sam Elliott. Yeah.
Yeah. Sam Elliott.
Another trump card.
Sam Elliott and Ron Swanson, 70s cops. Like that'd be a great movie. Did you drop a marble
what?
on your desk? What was that?
That was an
that
odd
just-
noise.
Was that just on my end?
It was not me. I don't know.
Strange.
Anyway. So no, I mean. Well, okay. Let's approach it this way. What is the sexiest facial hair a man can have?
Whatever Uncle Lance has.
Doesn't. He has like your weird homeless scruff.
All right, you don't have to like actually attack me.
No, you were clean shaven last night. You look really good.
Whatever.
What is that?
Did though.
You can't try to compliment sandwich this.
All right, whatever. Sorry. I don't know. I mean, I feel like mustaches get a bad rap. I mean, I don't think they're like 10 out of 10, but I feel like they deserve more love than they get.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's the vibe I get. Every guy that only has a mustache, I get the pedophile vibe. I'm sorry,
That's
Denny
Freddie
from
Mercury. He
Pet
wasn't a pedophile.
Yeah, but like he gets that vibe though. Like he might not be, but like he is. It's definitely a question that arises when somebody sees him.
Well,
Like,
10 out of 10. Groucho Marx.
I don't know. It depends on like your face shape. It would determine like what facial hair would like look best on you. Because like if you got like if you have a defined jawline, like no facial hair, more than likely would be where you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess Dr. Phil only has a mustache, and I'd invite him in my house.
He looks stoned in that photo.
Yeah, he does.
A little bit.
Who's he gonna bring up? Like Bob Ross. Bob Ross makes like that beard work. Meanwhile, I don't think that Dr. Phil would look quite as well as Bob Ross does with that kind of facial hair.
No, but he would look that good with the afro.
Oh, yeah, he would. He's just sitting on the show, you know, just like slightly moving his head back and forth so he could feel it and know it's there. And how did that make you feel?
Yeah, I don't know, man. So I guess, what are all the different facial hair configurations? You got your mutton chops.
Yeah.
That's like a 3 for me.
It's like the
Yeah, that
reverse goatee.
What?
Mutton
Maybe.
chops. It's a reverse
Kinda.
goatee because it's everywhere except where the goatee is at.
Mutton chops to me only really look good if you're like
Jay
6
Schlatt.
foot. If you're like, I was gonna say if you're like a 6'3" lumberjack.
True. Because then you earn the right to just be whatever you want.
Yeah, who's gonna say no?
Nobody's gonna tell you otherwise. Like, sir, you're not allowed to bring the axe into this establishment. He has an axe. Are you gonna tell him no? I'm not going to.
That man goes and eats breakfast with bears every day.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. All right, so trying to find like an image we can all base off of. Like, should this be a tier list episode?
Facial hair tier list.
Yeah, why not?
We almost did that last episode.
What about
With
the
candy, yeah.
Wolverine facial hair? That's like the mutton chops, but a little extra.
I'm okay with. Yeah, I like it.
I think we like Hugh Jackman. I don't know that it's the facial hair.
I mean, he did win wine or
Also
cheese.
fair. Yeah, he did. That's true. He did.
He's banned
So-
from the show. Nobody's allowed to talk about him anymore.
Yeah, I'll give it a solid 4 or 5, something like that.
Out of what?
Well, 10.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, why not?
I don't know. I've never seen more than like 3 people pull off mutton chops, and everyone else that I have seen, just buy a razor, man. Like, it's not like if you have to have like a chubby kind of face for it, or like a rounded jawline to like do stuff like that. And it's just if you don't have that, it just doesn't work. It's a lot of facial hair.
It's a lot of facial hair.
Oh, good lord. Okay. I gotta pull this up in a new tab. What do you mean I can't? There we go. Ah, dang it, it's not bigger.
So it's just it's just every
Yeah.
configuration. Okay.
I guess. So 5 o'clock shadow / stubble. So Indiana Jones, let's say.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
That's
That's a good 6 or 7.
See, that would probably look good on every guy.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like a
I
solid.
like the kind of like
Yeah.
I like the kind of like grizzled look it gives you.
Because like it'll, as long as it doesn't like come in super patchy, like that's the
Yeah.
biggest downfall for growing facial hair for everybody.
I know this problem well.
The reason I don't have facial hair is just that. So,
Yeah.
but the thing is, I can grow a mustache perfectly. Outside of the only mustache, I can't do anything.
See, Gabe, we could be the mustache bros.
No.
Why not?
Because I used to work with the mustache bros, and everyone called them pedophiles.
Well, so one of my boss said I look like a 1970s porn director. So I don't.
It's the same thing.
Don't let that stop you. Gotta believe in
I
yourself.
am going to let that stop me. I'm not going to look like a pedo.
One of the guys in my speech class, he has a he had a like straight up Kaiser Wilhelm mustache. If you don't know who that is, Google it. There wasn't as much wing on it, but it was definitely that girthy.
Okay.
And it looks good. I mean, it fit him well. And it, like every time I saw him, I'm like, man, I want one.
Yeah. See, I grew out my mustache, then I shaved it off, and that I'm gonna leave it there. Not gonna do that again.
What a saga.
Like I had it right up until I did it, and then I didn't. There's more to that story, but I thought that'd be the funniest way to deliver it.
So Luke, I guess pick out maybe 3 popular ones. I don't know how to do this. Give us like a top 3 maybe.
Top 3. Okay. Let's see. Corporate beard.
Okay, so just like standard, like my dad's beard, just like a standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go with that. Hang on, I'm scrolling through all of these. I
There's a beard that they named Brett Beard.
saw that, yeah.
I don't know what does that mean.
Extended goatee looks okay. That one can work.
That's all right.
And obviously toothbrush mustache.
Toothbrush. Wait. I haven't seen it yet. Wait, where is it? Toothbrush.
You'll know.
You can't. I don't care how many times you ask. You can't look like Adolf Hitler.
Gabe just found it.
I just found it, yeah. It'd be nice if they alphabetized this list.
No, I don't care. Those are my top 3.
I think I'm gonna go. I like a little bit thicker than the corporate beard. What is that one?
The corporate beard is just like, it's just very well trimmed, very short, full beard.
So what, like the full beard or?
Between corporate beard and full beard.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So like a reed length, some would say.
Reed length?
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
sure.
actually, hang on. Hang on. I'm gonna put the short boxed beard into mine.
Short.
It's like the handsome Chad kind of.
They all have the same face. You gotta you gotta narrow it down, homie.
So corporate beard.
Yeah.
Find corporate beard down and to the left.
Oh. I had to remember what left was. Short box beard. Yeah, I can see that. That's like the I don't know, early 2010s Latino drug cartel guy.
I thought it looked like Tony Stark, but okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
same
seen
thing.
Stark.
Same thing.
Well, all right, fine. It looks like Tony Stark. So Gabe, do you have a top 3?
Not really, because different beards work for different people.
All right, so for you then.
For me, nothing.
Clean shaven?
Yeah. Because like my facial construction doesn't really work with anything that can, like I can't do the handlebar mustache because that looks kind of stupid unless you're like Hulk Hogan, with maybe 2 exceptions.
Or a carnival barker.
Yeah.
Or a Civil War reenactor?
Or planning to rob a bank in the 1930s.
Also true.
Like if you don't go full beard, and you can't do full beard, then you just grow what you can.
Like a mustache.
No. And you just don't do
Yes.
anything. No.
Man.
I'm religiously against the only mustache. Anything outside of that, fine. Like the chin strap, there's people out there that had the chin strap that are cool, like Abraham Lincoln. Like you don't, you know.
The chin strap is definitely below all forms. Well, not all
yeah,
forms,
like,
but most forms of mustache.
It really is. But, you know. I don't know. I think neck beard is bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Because like it's not a beard, it's just neck hair at that point.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, so talking about neck beards, let me let me show you guys this picture.
Oh goody.
'Cause, like out of all the places to shave, that is the only spot that I actually have issue with shaving. And I don't know why it is.
What do you mean issues?
Like I can shave everywhere on my face fine, but once it goes to
Yeah.
the neck, that's where I start to get razor burn and such.
Oh yeah, same.
Like I don't. Yeah, neck beard.
Yeah, so everyone at home, Google Horace Greeley. He was a newspaperman during the Civil War, and for whatever reason, I don't know, was he married? Probably not. Who were we
Probably
kidding?
not like looking like that. He probably wasn't. I don't care if it was. I don't care if it was another time. That
Yeah, like if you look at some of these pictures, it looks like he has a fur collar on his
Yeah.
coat. Oh, jeez. Yeah, so
Hey,
that's
Gabe,
bottom.
Gabe, you better be okay with editing photos onto the video.
It's
of
a
this, 'cause
podcast.
This isn't gonna make any sense then.
I
I
can't.
feel like it.
I can't do that on Spotify and Amazon Music.
All right, well, whatever. We can switch bits. All I'm gonna say is I feel like mustaches get a bad rap, and I may grow one. So there.
I've already attempted, and I'm not doing that again. That's where I sit.
Did somebody hurt you? Did somebody tell you you looked awful with a mustache?
No, I got a lot of compliments for my mustache, but I look like a pedophile, and I'm not into that.
You need to give yourself more self-love and appreciation.
No.
You're having some self-esteem issues, I think.
All right, so the main issue with that is you sound like a woman.
Wow.
You know I'm not wrong.
I mean, yeah, what's the Ron Swanson line? There are too many women in this establishment, and that includes the men.
That includes the men, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a few things have happened since the last episode. Well, I guess
Oh, yeah.
if you want to count it since last episode. Either way. We got to go see Luke's play. I think
We
it was
did.
yesterday from time of recording.
I mean, yesterday became today during the time we were hanging out, so it's a little confusing.
Yeah. As is the winter solstice.
That doesn't make any sense, but I couldn't agree more.
Isn't that the shortest day of the year? Hang on.
Yes? But it's like December 21st.
It's exactly on December 21st.
Boom, I was homeschooled.
Interesting.
There's Scott knowing things.
Ooh, wow, look at me. Ooh, wow. I
Makes
know
up the fact
things.
that I want a mustache, apparently. Or probably doesn't, though.
It doesn't.
I know. I'm
Either
sad.
way, the play was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. We spent literal hours last night after the show talking about all the bits that we liked, and the whole time I'm thinking I should have just brought microphones because we could have made that the entire Podumb episode.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I don't think I really had any gripes about the play.
No. So, Luke, I guess best thing maybe to start is if you gave us a plot summary.
Sure. So, okay, for listeners, for first-time listeners, and for anyone who, because I really haven't gone over like what the show really was about, because I didn't want to like spoil it for any possible Anybody who might. The very
Gabe.
slim, yeah, basically the very slim Venn diagram of Podumb listeners and people who might have gone to see this. Basically, yeah. The play I was just in, it was in. I don't even know if is adaptation the right word?
I would
Would
say
you say-
reimagining.
Yeah, okay. A reimagining that, like, of the Frankenstein story.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like, man makes monster becomes his downfall. That story is like, that element stays the same, but, like, none of the events happen the same way. A lot of the science is different. Like, the monster in this version of the show is not like stitched together pieces of random body parts. It's a person whose mind is being like overwritten with another person's personality, basically.
Right.
But something goes wrong with the procedure, so both of the personalities inhabit the same body.
I don't think I'd ever seen that concept before. I mean, I don't frequent that type of genre, so I guess that's not surprising, but I thought it was interesting. It was an interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
And so what is the conflict other than the fact that this monster's cranky?
So there's kind of like it feels to me like each act kind of has separate different conflict.
Okay.
The first act is very much like obviously meeting and introducing the characters, but the first act focuses more on Victor trying to save his brother. And then the second act is the creature basically becoming aware and I don't even want to say going on a rampage, but just like kind of determining its own purpose is kind of
And seeking revenge.
and seeking revenge, yeah.
Yeah, so Victor, he's the oldest brother of the Frankenstein family, and he is in both in the book and in this play, I guess. He's obsessed with what's his motivation? He wants to create he wants to rearrange the brain in such a way where a person only experiences continual happiness.
In the book, his purpose is basically to like cure death.
I don't know what that means. Like you become immortal?
So he creates the monster as like an initial attempt to like restore life to something that was dead, with the eventual goal being to man, I'm bad at explaining things. He basically wants to bring people back from the dead.
Mm-hmm.
Is his eventual goal in the book. In the show, the play, yeah, the device that he makes, the Prometheus device, it's kind of like a mind mapping invention, but he also has the ability to like program memories for a person to like relive over and over again.
Happy memories.
Yeah, it's with the intention of it being happy memories, but as is pointed out in like the first scene, you could just as easily do the same thing with traumatic memories and like nightmares.
Mm-hmm. And so Victor he's working on all this. His work gets shut down by whoever he's working for, and this is all like that frustration is exacerbated by the fact that his younger brother Will, who Luke plays, is headed off to school, and Victor won't see him again, I guess.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, also there's the detail. Yeah, so Will is going to be going off to university. But also there's the fact that before the show starts, Will's twin brother, who I also played, committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And Victor is kind of haunted by the kind of guilt. What is that? Is someone's
I have
mic
no
like
idea.
unplugging? Like what is that noise? Is it showing up on anyone's recording?
It is.
I have no clue. I heard it too.
That is weird. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, but the desire to stop anything like what happened to the twin from happening to anybody else, including Will, is what really drives Victor's motivation. Is he's basically trying to prevent another
Suicide in the family, yeah.
Yeah.
And so describe your big scene, Luke. I guess the longest one that you're in.
Yeah.
The one when you're drunk.
Yeah. So Will goes out kind of in celebrating that he's been accepted to this prestigious university with his best friend, Justin. However, one of the other hiccups involved is that Will does not just see Justin as a friend. Will actually has romantic feelings for him, and ends up confessing that. Tries to make a move while drunk, and then that gets shut down, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so he kind of like is stumbling around, and then ends up finding this motorcycle in the alley where they're hanging out, and he starts messing with it. This bike belongs to a large, hulking thug of a man named Felix DeLacy, who it is established does not particularly like physical contact, and in fact becomes violent when anyone other than his girlfriend touches him. So he comes out and sees Will kind of messing with the bike or whatever, and he confronts them. He starts getting like threatening, and Will just goes on this long drunken tirade.
It was very funny.
It was a lot of fun to say. It was about just like, yeah, my brother's dead. But there were two of me, so you'd be scared if he showed up, and just goes on the whole thing. I don't know. I never got a time on how long that scene actually or how long that monologue goes on for. It's probably at least like 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, I
wouldn't
say
be
like
surprised.
7 or 8.
Yeah. But at one point, Justin's trying to like drag Will away, and Will's just not having it. Will's like determined to just be ridiculous, and he ends up touching Felix, which causes a brutal beatdown to occur that results in Will basically being killed.
He becomes a vegetable.
He's very much he's like, he has no full cognitive function.
Mm-hmm.
And so Victor finds out about this, because the scene after I get like brutalized is in the hospital where he's been taken and where he's been operated on, and they've done everything that they can. And Victor finds out who beat him. And you don't find this out until like one of the last scenes of the show, but He then orchestrates and puts events in motion that lead to DeLacy being brutalized himself while in prison, brought to the same hospital as Will, and then Victor basically steals both of the bodies
Right.
with his friend's help, and then basically plans to take Will's mind and replace DeLacy's personality with Will's.
In DeLacy's body.
In DeLacy's body. So Will would basically exist in the body of the man that killed him. All the while, in addition, which would be horrific enough alone. But what Victor also plans to do is keep Felix's mind awake and sentient inside, but not be able to control anything.
Right. Yeah.
Victor is a psychopath in this show.
Well, a little bit. A guy's got to do what he's got to do, as we find out later. Sorry.
But so yeah, they plan that's what he attempts to do, and he starts the process, and in the middle of it, lightning strikes, and it interrupts the process. So something goes wrong. The monster wakes up, or Felix, I guess calling it the monster is probably the best way to go about addressing him at this point. So it wakes up and escapes the lab.
Mm-hmm. And the next scene is quite good. The guy who played the monster.
Oh yeah, Ryan killed that.
Yeah, he's basically an inarticulate, bloody mass of flesh, just struggling on both sides of the stage. On one side, he's Will and trying to reconcile that and understand that he's in a new body. Then on the other side of the stage, he's Felix, who did not get repressed like Victor hoped. And in fact, Felix and Will are battling for the same cognitive space. And then he goes on at this point, he goes on the revenge rampage, right?
Well, first thing he does is visit his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Which really doesn't come of anything. Basically, all that happens there is Will basically tells her that Felix loves her, which Felix doesn't like for some reason.
Yeah.
And then basically Felix tells his girlfriend, yeah, as far as you're concerned, I'm dead, and then just leaves. And then for extra shock, you find out she's pregnant, which is never mentioned again in the rest of the show.
She's what?
What?
Oh, did you miss that part?
She did said we...
Yeah, don't leave us.
Leave us. Oh, so see, whenever I heard that line, I was thinking, oh, did somebody perform this experiment on her too?
Oh, no, she's pregnant.
Okay. That changes a little bit. I'm glad that he didn't kill the pregnant lady as well. All right.
Okay, and so basically the monster just goes on a rampage, killing the people that you've gotten to know over the play. He kills a counselor. He kills Felix, kills his family.
No, Will kills Felix's family.
Well, whatever.
That's the important. It's important. I feel like that's an important distinction.
Okay, so but whatever. The monster kills Will living through the monster kills Felix's family.
In the order that the second act plays out, the Felix side of the monster only kills one person.
Right, Justin. The guy
that Will had feelings for.
Right. And then so he does all this, and this leads up to the climax where the monster confronts Victor. Now, all this time, the monster has become, just by, I guess, process of the experiment, he's become more and more intelligent and articulate. And so by the time he reaches Victor, he is, he has the diction of a college professor. But and the brawn of Felix still.
He's literally in every possible sense an amalgamation of the two personalities.
Right, because Will was super intelligent.
Will was intelligent, Felix was brutal, but like even to the point where like throughout a lot of the second act, you have instances of like Felix and Will talking to each other, like they're both two. It's clear it's two minds in one body. Mm-hmm. By the time you hit the last two scenes, it's not like it's one person.
Hmm. Right, because part of the theme of one question in the play is if you fuse two things together like that, do you have two? How did he say it? Are there two separate things just together now, or have you created something new, basically?
Have you ever heard of the ship of Theseus?
Please explain that, because I did not do it well.
It's a Greek philosophy. There's an actual thing. I know WandaVision made this a meme for a while because it was like, yeah, the visions, whatever, ship of Theseus. And then Distractable has also, the podcast that Markiplier does with his two friends, Bob and Wade, they've made it a meme as well. But the ship of Theseus, actual thought experiment from ancient Greece. It's basically if you have a ship and you, over time, replace all the parts with new parts, but still call it the same ship, is it actually the same ship that it was before, or has it become an entirely new thing?
Mm-hmm. And so that's the question, I guess, that the show poses about the monster. And the answer is that, at least according to the play, is that the monster is a new thing. So yeah, do you want to let's wrap this up. Do you want to describe the climax and then the after scene?
So basically, the monster breaks into the laboratory where Will's body is being held. He kills Victor's best friend, and then he forces Victor into the Prometheus machine and basically forces him to relive his own, like, worst experiences. Mm-hmm. Like, forever. And the final scene is basically him presenting the Prometheus machine as like his own invention, mm-hmm. while being kind of grilled by this detective who's been showing up throughout the course of the show. Mm-hmm. It's an ending, but it's also kind of open-ended, is how I would describe it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's definitely the end of Victor's story, but it's not necessarily the end of that story.
True. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to put it, because Victor's story ends by, like, the very technology that he was trying to create gets used against him in the most heinous way possible.
Right.
So yeah, it was a downer for sure. I remember the first words I wanted to come out of my mouth when it ended was like, ugh, I wish I smoked. But
though in defense, the name of the show is literally Miserable Creatures.
Yeah, well, yeah. But Luke did a very, very good job.
Thank you.
You know, the comedy was definitely there, and Luke was able to bring that out really well in the drunk scene.
Yeah. See, I think all the cast members did a great job.
They did, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So while all this is happening, Gabe, like, I try to mind my own business mostly when I'm in a play.
I, on the other hand, I add to the experience.
Gabe gets to be the devil on my shoulder while I'm trying to watch the play. So there was one like audio transition, like it was, I forget which scene it was, but it was really intense, and I'm like, I was really getting into the scene, and the transition music that they were playing while they changed sets was very like electronic and like grindy sounding. No,
not that one.
no, it was a different one, and you'll know which one as soon as.
Probably. I'll see.
And Gabe just says, he like whispers to me while there's people all around us, Megatron is outside. I'm like, whatever.
If we were surrounded by like people that were not like 45, maybe whatever, like maybe actual people our age, like I would have let out a lot more comments. But I'm the whole time thinking I have so many things I want to say that Scott will laugh at, but I can't say it because I'll ruin the show for her.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But there were a couple that I let slip out because, you know.
Right. And that seems to be the trend of what happens when we go to see movies. Because I remember we went to see Incredibles 2, which was not a good movie, but...
Hey, it was a great movie. What are you talking about?
It wasn't. I mean, it
No.
was good because of Gabe's commentary, and I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
If I could save a movie like that with my with my comedy.
Yeah, it was a fun time because the one train conductor gets hypnotized, whatever, he's a security guard or something. He's looking at the screen, and like his eyes are all like phased out or whatever, and
Yeah.
in this quiet dark theater you just hear Gabe's voice going, oh, Minecraft. As if the guard was hypnotized by playing Minecraft. Anyway.
You know the joke's good whenever somebody brings it up to like 10 years later.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. See,
Yeah, go ahead.
movies are only as fun as the people that you watch them with.
Aww.
I am the greatest.
Well, no.
Well, all right. Well, you're allowed to be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this play, I mean, it's the most upsetting one I ever watched, not just thematically, but also the things that happen. I mean, do you want to explain the scene with the father, Luke?
Oh, okay.
Like whatever. At use discretion.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
that was
okay.
a wild scene.
Yeah.
And I was
So,
there
okay.
for it.
There's a point where you meet Felix's father and sister. And the point of that scene, at least as far as I can tell, is basically supposed to be to explain why Felix is the way he is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why he doesn't like to be touched, why he's, like, so violent and so angry, why he kind of feels like he has this vendetta against the world. And it's because his father was just the worst.
I mean, there's probably worse. That was a joke.
Yeah. And that was a reference to the show. No, but he's the first thing you find out is that he's a drunk, which, yeah, if you got kids, don't do that. Then you find out he's verbally, and you can figure out pretty quickly, probably physically abusive as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you get then he's openly and verbally racist.
Yeah. About Felix's girlfriend.
And yes.
What?
No, I'm trying to think how much to elaborate there, but
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah. Anyway, then you get the flashback. There is a scene where you kind of see a memory that Felix has, which I said I put it this way: the drunk monologue was my favorite scene to say. Like that was all my favorite lines. The scene, because Will shows up as like a physical embodiment of himself in the memory.
Right.
Like not interacting and like or changing anything. He's just there witnessing.
Just a viewer, yeah.
Yeah. He's a surrogate audience.
Yeah.
That was my favorite scene to act.
Okay.
Because the things that he and by extension the audience have to watch in that scene are horrific.
It's Monopoly night with Uncle. Except, without the Monopoly. Instead of Uncle, it's Felix's dad, and yeah.
Keep talking.
So like I really liked how that scene was set up with Felix and William in like the same room, but William just the amalgamation of it, because this is like the first time we've seen them together as like a personality, like experiencing one thing. So having like a representation of the William's like perspective, and then also one of Felix's character helps the aid of understanding that both these people are now going to have to figure out a way to coexist and like work together to vessel this machine.
Right. And in that memory, you find out that not only was the father verbally and physically abusive, but that physical abuse went as far as raping young Felix, which it's as I said, it's the most upsetting play I've ever watched. So why did you enjoy performing that one the most?
Because it's an instance where I had to portray like multiple emotions going on at once. Like I had to simultaneously, I had to start out looking kind of like sympathetic to Felix, but then have that turn into fear of what was happening, disgust of what was happening, and just full on just rage.
Yeah.
And just portraying all of that at once was something I've never like had to do in something before, and I loved the opportunity.
Okay, yeah. It's impactful. The whole that scene. Yeah. So what else was that was like the big upsetting bit. I mean, there's some pretty gruesome deaths throughout as well. Like the monster pulls out Justin's heart.
Yeah.
And all right, let's get a list of all the things he pulls out of people's bodies.
It starts with a tongue.
Wait, whose tongue was it?
One of the security guards.
Oh, yeah. Pulls out the tongue, then the heart, and then the jaw?
Yeah, he pulls off a jaw.
And then he just kills the counselor by
snaps
cracking
her
her
back. Yeah.
He also pulls off that shirtless look, am I right?
You're not wrong. I'm really impressed with the sound people, because that had to be so perfectly timed. I'm just now realizing.
Yeah.
Like putting the crack right in the right place.
Yeah.
Very, very well done. So anyway, what are your thoughts, Gabe?
I don't have any gripes with the play. Like all the parallels that drew to Frankenstein really, really buttered my biscuit, as the kids say. They don't say that, but I like to think they do. And Yeah, I don't really have any. We kind of hit all the bases already.
Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. I was at, I mean, just because it was in Pittsburgh, I kind of expected the theater to be a bit bigger, but there might be less seats in that one than there is in the Butler Little Theater.
This is true.
I'm not sure. I never got an official count.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's very much less. It's closer than you think it is, but it's still a few less.
I think it is less, yeah.
Just because there's as many rows, but it's not anywhere near as wide.
Yeah, width definitely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the auditorium felt like a small church converted into a theater. That's the kind of vibe I got from it.
It's possible.
Like
yeah, it's very possible.
You walk in and you have like the little reception area, and then you go farther in and there's the auditorium. That's really the whole building. I think there were 10 rows. There's one aisle going down the middle, 10 rows. Each row had 4 chairs on the right and the left. And that was the whole auditorium.
I thought the stuff on the left had more seats per row than the right.
I thought both sides were 4. I could be wrong though. There was one less row on the right side for a fire exit.
There were more than 4. No, it was
there?
5.
Okay.
It was 5 on the left. Yeah.
Okay, 5 on the left, 4 on the right.
So are we
Yeah, there
talking
was more than
stage
4.
left or house left?
House left.
House left.
House left. Okay.
There might have been 6. Now that I'm thinking about it. Either way, there was. Meanwhile, in the Butler Theater, there's like, I think, what is it? 13 rows?
God, dude.
13
I have
rows,
no idea.
like 30 chairs wide. Like the depth it's much more.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
And then the Zillionople Theater is just, there's 2 balconies, so that's all you really need to know there. Or not 2 balconies, there's 2 levels of seating. But yeah. I would have enjoyed it if we didn't have to wear masks that you literally couldn't breathe out of. That kind of ruined the first act for me, because I committed to it, and man, did I get a severe case of claustrophobia in that room with the mask on.
Throughout all of COVID, I had a cloth mask. I did not have the ones you were, I guess, supposed to wear.
Yeah.
So I was not used to that at all.
Yeah, the masks were thick enough that you could probably, there was a shooting, your mouth would be fine. Like it was brutally thick.
Yeah.
I still have it because I want to test things with that. Yeah, they were definitely quote unquote medical grade, even though I think medical grade you can still like breathe through a little bit. Like this stopped all oxygen in and out of that mask.
It really did.
So it's whatever came in through the sides is what you're breathing. Yeah, outside of that, like everything was enjoyable. Like I enjoyed the small like auditorium because that, you didn't have to worry about hitting all the angles from the stage. So you could like direct more what happens, and like you don't have to worry about like, are they going to see the blood splatter from the entire other side of the building or not? You just got to worry about the tunnel vision right in front of you.
Exactly. That's a good point.
So like I enjoy like theaters like that because it gives, the people on the stage a little bit more, creative liberty in knowing what will show up and what won't. But, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, now that I think about it, the entire stage was probably smaller than a lot of movie screens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So yeah, it's really dials in what you're focusing on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like think up a square footage for like the entire stage, but I can't. I literally can't.
Yeah.
Because like it's hard to explain like the depth of it. It feels like it's like 40 foot wide, maybe 45.
Right.
And it's as deep as it is wide, much like that song that you learned in Sunday school that one time.
Yeah. So Gabe, do you want to tell us about Byron?
Byron's awesome. He's the first
Yeah.
person I met whenever we went there, and he's the last person we saw when we left.
Oh man.
So me and Scott, we get there, and on the email they send you out whenever you buy the ticket, it says masks required, and it gives you like a list of the details, like no cloth ones, no balaclavas, blah blah blah. Has to be medical grade XYZ with this certification to it. So I read it, and I was gonna pretend like I didn't read it when we got there and just not wear a mask. But so me and Scott get there. We walk up to the front door, and on the left door that's open, it says masks required. And I was completely on board to just say we never saw it. But Scott stops, reads it for 5 minutes. People see us read it, and now I'm like, we got to commit to this now. So we go back towards the car, like maybe we can find somewhere in Scott's car. But before we even get back, Scott like pulls out his phone. We call Luke. Like, Luke, it says we need masks. What do we do? And so Luke essentially goes, well, just go inside. Byron's got some masks.
Yeah, Byron.
So we go inside, and we're looking for Byron. I don't know if you heard me say that, Scott, or not, but I said it to like 2 or 3 people while we were walking
Did
in.
you?
I'm like, hey, you know where Byron's at? We're looking for Byron. You know where Byron's at? And so like I stopped looking for Byron, and I start looking for the masks, because I assume they're synonymous with each other. And they were. So we find the mask, and I'm like, oh, there's Byron, just like Luke told us he'd be here, like there.
There's this man, I don't know, like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, that's about. Yeah, I think so.
Like full security guard uniform. Like, oh, didn't know this like theater needed security. Okay, I'm not used to that, but it is Pittsburgh, I guess. And he's like, he has a mask on, and all you see is like these eyes kind of like glaring out from under his brow as we like tentatively approach. I'm like, Byron doesn't seem friendly.
I don't know what you're talking about. I felt like he was my friend from the start.
You didn't.
I did not. he played the security guard before, during, and after the play. Like,
Yes, that was the twist. We thought he was an actual security guard.
Yeah, no, he was just an actor. That wasn't even his real. That's not even his real name. That was the character name.
which is wild. I don't care what his real name is. I'm sorry if he's listening to this, but his name's Byron to me now, because that's a fun name to say.
It's Byron.
Yeah. It's like Brian, but cooler. Cooler
It's Brian part 2.
Yeah.
Byron.
But like when I said words to him, he just like didn't respond at all. Like he simply was there, and that was the end of it. And we took our masks, and then we're like, all right, so now what do we do? So we found a lady. We scanned in her QR code that they gave us to like get into the show, and we walked in. And then we sat there for a bit, and then the play happened, and we walked out. And then we talked a little bit with Luke, and then we said, all right, well, let's go to Sheets, and then we'll talk more. Sheets, if you're not from like Western PA in Ohio, it's like a gas station. It's like, think of Sonic. It's Sonic's is exactly what Sheets is, except that Sheets is better in every way.
Every conceivable way.
Literally every conceivable way.
Yeah.
Never been to Sonic's though, but whatever.
It's gas station, Subway, and McDonald's kind of like mushed together. Except that it's better than all three of those things together. Either way, so we agreed to like just meet up at Sheets and talk, because we stood outside that theater for probably like close to 30 minutes. And
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know about you, Scott, but I don't want to take up all of Luke's time whenever he could be talking to other fans instead of the same 2 people he talks to every week. And so like I was looking for an out route. So like we found it. We started going back to Scott's car to like go to Sheets. And on the way back, I don't remember, how did the conversation go? Like, how did it start?
Basically what we just said. Like, Byron is a way better Brian, I think.
Yeah, I wish I got a hug from Byron before we left. You're like, wow, Byron's so cool. I was just kind of gushing over Byron.
Man, he's so handsome. And lo and behold, he was walking behind us, like a foot away.
maybe like a half car length away. In people
Well, if it makes you feel any better, he didn't hear you.
What?
I asked him today when we were striking set. He didn't hear any of it.
Man, I should have said it louder.
Yeah, I really should have. It would have made this so much funnier.
He said exactly. He heard someone say Byron, but he couldn't tell what else.
Okay. So at this point, it really just is his name.
Yeah, because he responds to it.
Yeah.
I mean, in the moment, I was incredibly embarrassed because, like, he didn't react, and I was positive he heard us. So I'm like walking faster.
Yeah, I was ready to double down on it. Like I was fully prepared from the get go to go on this adventure. But never had to happen. So like, it's fine.
Yeah,
Didn't matter. Whatever.
Gabe and I really wanted to play Wine or Cheese with Byron.
Really did. Not gonna lie.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh well, maybe
Next time.
Maybe some other time. So do you want to, I don't know, is it worth explaining what Byron's bit in the play was that was funny? Luke?
We can. So in the first, well, it's the second scene of the show, but the scene where you're introduced to Will and Justin, out of seemingly, well, Justin goes on this thing about where he's like, yeah, the security in this place is awful. There's just one guy downstairs, and he just sits around all day waxing poetic at everybody.
Yeah.
And then like later on, the scene goes on. Will and Victor have like a heart to heart, and then Justin and Will get ready to leave, and seemingly out of nowhere, Justin just says this like piece of poetry, and then attributes it to Byron. Byron. That's how we all said it, because like he and I say it together, and it's like, what do you mean? Who's Byron? It's like, Byron. He's your security bard. Which I do like that line.
I forgot about that line, but I do remember it now.
So that's why at the beginning of this episode, when the poem ends, Byron.
Byron. Full circle.
Yeah.
Cool, sir.
Yeah. So did we cover all the bases for the play?
I feel like we did.
Get all the holes filled in.
Yeah.
See, the more we were at like the aftermath of the play, the more I realized doing a wine or cheese segment out on the street would require a few things.
Yeah.
Such as?
Well, like I feel like, all right, so this was gonna be a real like segment, but now I just want to segue into wine or cheese, and I'm debating.
Oh, I thought you were.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So like, I genuinely thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna go like, yeah, well, you would need a couple of things. For example, you would need to walk up to somebody and you need to say, "Hey, would you like this bottle of wine or some cheese?" And then they would have to say,
"No, but like really, like I would probably like what I would want to have to do stuff like that." And then they
would have to say,
"Wine."
Okay, so you get a bottle of wine. You're in the woods. You have a bottle of wine. No, I'm not actually going to try. I don't have anything. I have nothing planned.
I was very afraid.
I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to take Gabe's throne.
Like torture chamber. But like if I'm going to do it on the street, I need to have like I need to make them feel that it's structured enough that they can win.
Oh, absolutely.
So like I'll probably need a few things.
Mm-hmm.
For an example.
Yeah.
No, you know what you would need to do, because you would also need to maintain the bear thing. You would have to have one of us be staged. Come in and like play it with them, but only like either Scott or I gets eaten by the bear, the guest wins.
No, you don't win wine or cheese. You mean?
Yeah, people don't win wine or cheese. No. What are you talking about?
Well,
Hugh Jackman. If you win, you get banned. Do you really want this?
Well, we're never going to see them again. It doesn't matter if they get banned.
What if we get a date out of it? That'd be weird.
That'd be strange.
That'd be very weird.
You want to go to McDonald's and play wine or cheese? Like if I had a clipboard with like a lot of paper on it, with like vague words on it, so like if people read it, like they'll realize like, oh, it says something, but really it doesn't. Because like we could take the same people, we could just have this one plot line and take everybody through it, and nobody would know about it, because not everybody would see each other play the game.
Right.
So I could just take our original wine or cheese adventure, the first one,
First one?
and like flesh it out a little bit, because that was a quick one.
What counts as the first one?
The one where you're in the woods, you pick wine or cheese. If you pick cheese, you end up at the bottom of the river with the sea otters and whatever.
I forgot. Oh, I vaguely remember this.
I don't.
I remember sea otters at one point being a thing.
Yeah, like because there was so much cheese in your pockets, it was weighing you down in the river because you were being chased
Yeah.
by the bears. So you had one option and jump in the river. I don't remember how you die specifically in that one, but I'm pretty sure it's the bears or you drown. Then if you pick wine, you go into a cave and a bear's in there. You know, hungry bear.
Yeah.
The rest
So
is
that's
history.
That's the two endings to the original wine or cheese. So we could just take people through that because I mean, if you're gonna go up on somebody on the street, you could just start off with like, oh, we're doing a questionnaire. Can we have like 5 minutes of your time to answer a few simple questions? It's just quick like would you rather questions. Because like that right off the riff, it tells you exactly what you need to know. Like, so if you're presented the option between wine or cheese, which one would you be more inclined to pick? Like, just go off like with that, and then throw them waist deep into a wine or cheese segment. Because now they're already invested because they have answer one on the board.
Yeah.
And then you just go from there. I feel like it's very doable.
Couldn't agree more.
Like that's all I could think about while we were in like the aftermath of the play. I want to play wine or cheese with some of these people. I'd be interested to see how they handled death. Because like that, as soon as they die, like they'll probably try to like no, let me go back, and that's whenever you walk away and start with somebody else.
Play hard to get.
Yeah, exactly. Make them want the wine and cheese. You know, that's really the end goal here. But yeah. But I feel like a few more things that I would need to to enact such a thing.
Mm-hmm.
2 things by name. One starts with ch, ends with ease. The other one starts with w, ends with ein.
Yeah.
All right, I'm trying
What about 'em?
I'm trying to think. Do I want to pick up the last where you quote unquote died? Or do we want to talk about the topic idea we had before the show?
We're at an hour. We're at an hour 12 for this one. I feel like that can just be the next episode.
All right.
I agree. Yeah, let's try and keep it to somewhere around 90 minutes.
Oh, okay. Our most popular episode's 2 hours and a half. Whatever.
Well, let's be honest. Well, I guess the candy part was good.
I mean,
I
wine or
don't know.
cheese did span like 1/3
An hour. Yeah.
of that show. Either way.
Right.
I love one of the reasons I love going back. Not to interrupt, but I love going back and listening to the bit where Scott panics when he figures out I'm a Care Bear. is when Gabe follows it up with, well, now that everyone knows how the story's going to end, and no one could possibly have predicted how that went down.
Oh yeah,
Very
exactly.
true.
Like I had every intention of ending that with that wine or cheese that way until I said those words, and now I'm thinking now I can't do it because everyone's expecting it. I gotta throw a curveball somewhere in this. But yeah. So where did we end last segment? I kind of want to see how this goes.
So I stabbed my own neck
Oh yeah.
with a butter knife after rolling a 1 trying to stab Dave,
Dave.
the nerdy guy, and we left our hero, or not so hero.
We left Scott.
Hero. Yeah, it was me. I was on the floor, bleeding profusely, as Dave's voice echoed in my blacking out cognition.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn the place down. I'm gonna end everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you wake up in a medical ward. It's just there's a curtain around you. You're in a hospital bed with like IVs, not IVs. What's the little like electrodes they put on your like forearms and chest to like read your vitals?
Aren't they just called electrodes?
They might just be. So you got electrodes on your body. You're shirtless.
Oh.
You know, you got the stab wound that's kind of like been sutured on your neck. You got your left palm that's been bandaged, you know, considerably. And you know, things could be worse. You could have died. Dave could have exacted his revenge on you earlier.
Yeah.
But you know, here you are. You're still whining. You're still cheesing. I should have kept a running tally of what your inventory was. You have nothing on you.
I think I'm in a bathrobe. Well, I was. They
Yeah.
probably took everything once they got in the hospital. Yeah, go on.
But yeah. So there you are. You hear the beeping of the monitor. There's a few buttons on the side of the bed that you could toy with if you feel like it. But other than that, that's where you're at right now. So what would you do in this situation?
Well, are there any windows?
No. Well, I mean, you really can't see. Like the curtain like wraps around your bed entirely.
Well, I would be able to see daylight, right?
I mean, it's like one of those the medical curtains. Like you can't really see through it. There's like the little like stitching at the top, but like
So it goes the whole way to the ceiling.
yeah. Well, that's where it
Alright.
hangs from. The curtain.
Gabe.
Do you know what I'm talking
Fingers.
about? Like the curtain that they pull out.
I've seen those, and
around
I've
the bed?
seen some that are like on a rack.
No, I'm talking about like the ones that have like the guide rails on the ceiling.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I'm a hearty individual, so I feel as though I have
yes.
the strength to stand even now.
Okay.
So I swing my legs out over the bed and attempt to stand up. Oh no.
I love how you just automatically assume it's a bad roll.
Of course it's gonna be a bad roll. It's me.
That's horrible. I mean, alright, so you stand up. Your legs are a little wobbly.
Okay. My knees are shaky.
Yeah. They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you stand up. Do you walk away?
Yeah. So I pull the curtain back, and I. What was that roll for? Am I? Would I not be able to open a curtain?
You open the curtain. I don't know what a nat 20 does on a curtain open, but like you open the curtain.
You
All right,
open the
and,
curtain and a portal to another dimension opens in front of you.
You open the curtain and you see another man in a bed. There, we'll go with this route.
Is he awake?
Yes.
Okay, so I say, hey, can you find me some clothes? Because my throat was stabbed.
Luke says,
What do you freaking mean? What can I help you with? What do you mean? Can I find you some clothes?
there before you lies an
I'm in a
Irishman,
I'm in a. Excuse me.
Scotsman. I love how upset you. That's so in character.
Excuse me.
So there before you lies a Scotsman with a peg leg, but instead of a peg leg, it's a machine gun.
Oh no. I don't. Well, all right.
I'm laying here with my bloody amorless leg on my bed. In a gown that lets my wheel rear end hang out from behind. You think I got clothes on me?
Wow, you're really intense, aren't you? I don't know how to respond to this. What brings you here? Wow.
I'm sorry I passed out there for a second.
The story was so boring.
I was on my way back from patrol, but I ended up stepping into one of the bear traps around the perimeter of the compound. They had to bring me in here and amputate my leg and put this gun on instead.
Bear traps, huh?
You wouldn't believe.
I like that you already gave it up on the voice.
No, that's me saying it.
Well, what else do you think could take a man's leg clean off in one fell swoop?
Laryngitis? I don't know.
Ain't no laryngitis an affliction of the leg, you frickin' voice in my head.
I don't know, man. I'm just an amalgamation of the narrator. Just calm down, dude.
All right.
What are you in for?
I need to try to figure out what Luke's motivation is to see if he'll help me.
Bold of you to assume I've thought that far ahead.
What did you say?
You'll find out later.
I said bold.
test tube.
I said bold of you to assume I've thought that far ahead.
Oh, okay.
But Scottish. I'm not going to be able to
well-
maintain that voice for much longer. My dad's going to be coming up in like half an hour.
All right. Well, so I think to myself, this man, he is a dapper, strapping old fellow who would come in handy in a tight spot. So, I could really use his help as I try to escape this building that I'm not really sure why I'm here.
The Scotsman just gets up, like stares at you. Immediately, all that confidence went somewhere else. 'Cause you have no idea what I just rolled.
What did you roll?
I'm not gonna tell you. It's part of the
Why
story.
not?
So there stands the Scotsman before you. You guys are both close enough to both your beds that your IVs or whatever the electrodes are still attached. Scott, you still have no idea what you're wearing, and you're standing outside of your bed.
It's okay.
You could be fully nude in front of this man.
We're all friends here.
Are you?
Man, I don't know. Hey, I was wondering if you could give me some help as I try to get out of here. I don't belong in this building. I don't know why I'm here. I need your help.
Do any of us really know why we're here? I mean, when you really think about it from a cosmic perspective, we're all just temporary specks floating around in an infinite cosmos, constantly expanding into a vast emptiness of nothing. So really, what are we doing here?
All right, well, Albert Camus notwithstanding, can you get me out of here, please?
What is
philosopher.
out of here?
Why do you want to get out of here?
Wait, I'm in a hospital. No, let me stay.
Hey, this place has full health coverage.
Oh, does it?
They replaced my frickin' leg with a machine gun. Yeah, I'd call that pretty good benefits.
So what are you saying? You're saying I should stay here?
Well, Well, I'm saying you should maybe, like... I mean, consider the employment market.
He
All right,
brings
so-
up a good. He brings up a good fact, Scott.
He does. So I push the nurse button.
A nurse just like, how like on certain stages, like there's that drop away platform, like people can like raise up through. She like elevators her way into the room. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So there before you stands a nurse.
Like, so I go, hey, can you replace my throat with like a gun? Just like this man's leg was replaced with a gun.
That's a bit of a missed opportunity there. If it's your throat, I'd have replaced it with a cuckoo clock.
Replace.
Why?
Oh, that'd be funny, you know? Every other hour, you got a little wooden bird coming out of your throat like, cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. I thought it was funny.
With a machine gun. I don't think that's logistically possible. Where would the
Is this
barrel
the
go?
nurse talking?
No, it's just like me talking. Like the
Well,
nurse,
I mean-
the nurse agrees with me, but I don't want to do a girl voice.
I mean, a snub-nosed pistol would fit in like a throat.
Yeah, but like you're fine as is.
Am I? I guess I
Yeah.
am talking, aren't I?
Yeah.
I have no idea where I am floundering here. I have no idea where to go. All right, so I head for the door and see if the Scotsman follows me.
Pull it, listen, the man's delirious. Just get him a few cough drops.
No, I'm fine.
She throws 2 Xanax at you.
I'm not entirely sure what they do.
So, as you start walking out, you notice there's a few more curtains with like various people with like their uniforms hanged up beside the bed. On your way back to the door, you get to the door. That's whenever the Scotsman and the nurse they have that conversation, and so you turn around. The Xanax are thrown to you. You catch them. You put it in your pocket, and you make your way. Do you want to make your way out into the hallway?
I think I do.
Okay, so you make your way out into the hallway.
Yeah.
Start walking down the hallway. Don't really see anybody. You see a sign that says floor 13.
Oh.
And an elevator.
Is there an out of how many floors, or does it not say?
No, it just says floor 13.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's an elevator. You can continue down the hallway. What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, where does the hall lead to the other way?
I mean, you'll have to find out if you want to know.
All right, I go to the elevator. Whatever.
All right, so you push button,
Yeah.
up or down button.
So last time we were in this story, I was anticipating that I was underground,
Okay.
and so going up would help me reach the surface.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
because Gabe will do the opposite of whatever I pick, I'm not sure. Like if I go up, I'll be up, and
Yeah.
it won't be down, which is where Gabe will think I should be.
Or will it?
All right, whatever. So if I go, if I go in the elevator, I can see all the buttons to see how many floors there are.
Yep.
So how many floors are there?
So, well, you push up or down.
All right, well, it doesn't matter. So I push up.
All right, so you push up. The elevator comes. Ding. You walk in, and it's a keypad.
Of course it is.
You can
cheater.
You can enter the floor number and then push go, and it'll go there.
I select or I enter floor 113.
The lights flicker a little bit as the doors
Hold
close.
the elevator!
The door's starting to slowly close.
I
Scott
hold
like,
the elevator.
oh, okay,
Or I
fine.
attempt to. Well, you can roll a die, whatever.
All right, so the storyline I had in mind for this before you rudely interrupted me is
sorry.
Scott starts hitting the closed door button faster and faster, and right before the door, like barely, there's like a very slight distinction of light. You hear a gunshot, and now there's a bullet stuck in the door, holding the door open.
Yeah, that's what happens. Okay.
And then the Scotsman like reaches into the door and fights the door until it opens.
Is he clothed?
He's got like a kilt on.
So is like his Scotsman moves like
Yeah.
this press through the squeezing doors as he's trying to get in.
All right, yeah. So he has really hairy. He has huge biceps, triceps, like forearms, jacked. He's a jacked up Scotsman.
Yeah.
He probably weighs somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 pounds, but he's ripped.
Oh no.
Except for like the guttural area, he's got a 1-pack. He's got an ammo stash going from his right shoulder down to his left hip, and a green plaid kilt. And yeah, on his back is a scabbard sword, very large scabbards. Is the scabbard the one that goes on the back, or is that the one on the hip?
The
I
scabbard
think
is
a scabbard. Go ahead, Luke.
a scabbard is just what holds the sword.
Yeah.
It can be held like wherever.
All right, so it's on the back, you know. So he pulls the door back open, and he like does the Mr. Incredible thing where like he slips on the skateboard, and he grabs his car, like that crumpled effect. He does that to the elevator door. And so he walks in, and what does he say?
Sorry about the last second, I just realized if I have a gun for a leg, I should probably go get some ammo for it. What floor are you heading to?
Well, I entered a floor 113, Mr. Scotsman, sir. What is your name?
Haggis!
So Agus, I'm wanting to head to
Clancy McHaggis!
Clanksty McHaggis.
Clancy McHaggis.
So Mr. McHaggis, may I call you Clancy?
The only people who call me Clancy are the ones who I look into when their eyes are dying. But in this case, sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Ooh, foreshadowing.
Oh, I forgot to do the voice. Whatever, I'm not doing that voice. Just pretend I'm doing it. So I'm going to floor 113.
Oh, what a coincidence! That's where the armory is.
Oh, well. Bully
Okay.
for me.
So you guys start going up. You guys were on floor 13. I'm just gonna point it out right now. So I'm gonna draw this out so people realize like how long they were in the elevator. Complete silence. They didn't talk at all. It was just Scott in a bathrobe, essentially, and the Scotsman fully decked out, ready for war.
I got like a little bandage on my neck.
And it's like slight music in the background. Like there's a few sniffles that happen along the way. But for the majority, 100 floors of waiting. Like, have you guys ever like sat in an elevator and gone like maybe 10 floors? It takes a while. And to be in an elevator with the muscle of a man that takes up the majority of the elevator room.
Also,
Well,
every breath he makes is the sound of bagpipes.
What an upsetting thing to hear.
So Scott, after a
I
while,
can't wait to hear him run.
Scott like looks up at like the little like counter thing and it says 90. He like looks back down at the floor with his eyes like bloodshot open, ready to kill himself.
I kind of like picking lint off of my robe, just like trying to fidget my way to happiness.
I lean over a little bit and I go, you should hear it when I sneeze.
He's Scottish Darth Vader at this point. Bing! You guys finally make it up to the floor. The door's open. It's a vast, like, think parking garage, but with all the lights off, and you can see a doorway illuminated at the end of it all.
Oh. So, it's Mr. McAgus, or Clancy, whatever. Clancy McAgus. Is this the
Aye.
right floor? No? Maybe?
Is it
Is this the right floor?
Gabe?
I mean,
Is it?
maybe.
Shall I roll?
I'm dyslexic. What is that? Oh, it's... Yeah, sure.
Aye, this is it.
Full confidence. Never like a doubt in his mind.
All right. Well, I start walking my way into the darkness towards the illuminated door.
You hear like pitter patters surrounding you as you go through. It's just, have I done this before?
Yeah, it's okay.
So you start walking. It's very dark. You can't see like your hand in front of your face. It's like country midnight dark. So you're walking through it. You can't see anything except the elevator. Are you following him, Luke?
Yeah.
Okay, so
So, wait. Yeah, let's set the stage here. So, you're hearing his breathing like, and like his footsteps is tink, tink, tink.
400 pounds of man doing that. And in between, I don't know if you could hear it. You can make out the faint.
I'm like trying to listen to it as I'm listening to this walking, marching band.
Tink. In front of you, you can see the faint white light of like it's almost like 2 football fields in front of you. That's how far away this is.
Okay.
The faint white light of what looks like a door and the elevator number. That's the only 2 things you can see is forward and backwards.
Interesting.
So you're going through this. There's nothing. This was supposed to be like the spiritual journey floor. But having the Scotsman clump around behind you kind of breaks the immersion a little bit. We'll see what we can do. So
All right, yeah.
So you're walking through. You're going through slowly. Like, I mean, you can hear the scurrying like start to come from like the roof area. Halfway through, you start to see like these little floaters, like glowing floaters on the sides of your peripheral. Whenever you look at them, they perfectly vanish.
Ooh,
You can
spoopy.
you can see like faint lights. Like, do you guys have like the blind spots in the middle of your eyes where if you look at like a very faint light, you can't see it, but if you look to the side of it, you can?
I don't.
I kind of
Alright.
know what you're talking about.
So, is what I described. So you have a few of those moments. Like you can see like what looks like 2 eyes out of the corners of your eyes. You look at it, it's gone. You continue a little bit farther. At this point, you're about the halfway mark. Not. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Packed your bag, something. The rest of the song as well. So you're halfway through. The clump tinging has stopped. Very strange, right?
Clancy?
You turn around. The only thing you can see is
Clancy?
that faint red light back at the elevator. You turn back around again. You can see the faint white light.
Clancy?
It just echoes into the nothingness, the stratosphere.
Fancy?
The elevator behind you dings.
Oh. Oh no.
And from the distance, you can just you can hear. Nope, I'm not dealing with that.
Dealing with what?
You turn back around. There's a kid in front of you.
Hey, sport champ. Hey there.
Hello.
What are you?
You want?
Can I- Huh?
You go first.
You wanna tell me why you're up here alone in the dark here?
The other kids don't like me.
What other kids?
Like my friends. They don't like to play with me, so I just like hang out on my own. You
see.
smell weird.
Well, I'm sorry. The hospital launderer is not what we could say is.
Don't talk bad about Judy. I like Judy.
Oh yeah, Judy. But anyways, champ, sport, son, kiddo.
Yeah.
Where, what is this place?
Would you like to know, Weather Boy? Yeah. He disappears. He like vanishes into like the darkness of the abyss. So
Okay.
like it's back to nothingness. You hear the clumping behind you again. Next thing you notice, you're walking towards the white door again. And step after step, bagpipe sounds. Clump ting, clump ting, clump ting.
Clancy?
You turn around. Clancy just, he's Clancy.
What did... Okay. Whatever. I keep walking towards the light.
All right, so you guys make it to the light. And nothing else like weird happened. Like it was just perfectly normal after that.
Clancy, do you know there was a child in here just said, "Wouldn't I like to know whether boy?" Can you explain what that was about?
Oh man.
I sprint to the door.
You quickly like shut yourself inside the door. That would have been immaculate if I didn't what I had initially in mind, which was just I was gonna have like an army in front of Scott and have Clancy run back in screaming something as he saves you. That would have been incredible. I should have went with that. Either way, I mean that's my own doing. I decided against it.
Oh, okay.
So you go inside the door. You shut the door. You're like you're holding the door shut behind you. You hear the faint bagpipes behind you.
I look around the room. No. I look frantically for an elevator button or something in the room.
There's nothing.
I start sprinting off into the room.
You go and hide underneath one of the lifetime tables. The door bursts open.
I did not remember the scream going on that long.
And where we'll end today is the Scotsman standing in the door screaming to bagpipes music while Scott cowers under a table.
The heck?
And that'll conclude this episode of this Podumb episode. And yeah.
I will never be more grateful for final thoughts.
What are you talking about?
Oh, so Gabe, there's this thing that we do on the podcast. It involves
poem
like
thing?
me. No. So that's at the beginning.
The wine or cheese thing?
Nah, that's towards the end.
Are you talking about like where we
Yeah.
talk?
No, that's a little before wine or cheese.
Oh, okay.
But there's like a little part at the end of it's after the poem. It's after where we talk. It's
The end?
after wine or cheese. Oh, it's a little before the end.
Oh, so like our special edition paywall episode where you can like listen to after the show. Yes, of course.
But there's this part of the show where you see you and I. We talk while Luke keeps silent, and then we like cue to him to like give just a summarization or just like a point of separation for the audience. Just like kind of he just kind of just general thoughts about the episode.
Oh, okay. So like we ponder this for a moment, and then like we ask.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I feel like if there was one person out of us three to be qualified to say such things in an amalgamated, the summarization of the amalgamations that are these word bits.
You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
What, amalgamation? Compilation.
Compilation of what?
Aren't those well like a compilation. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you're using those as being synonymous. I don't think.
I'm pretty sure they are though.
I think that there's a distinction.
Well,
so I think amalgamation is a bunch of things becoming one thing. A compilation is just a collection of a bunch of different things.
yeah, becoming one thing.
Which is the collection. It's not one thing.
No, you're thinking of a collage.
No.
Well, Luke,
No.
What did you think about the episode? Any final thoughts about that?
Yeah.
Amalgamation. Noun. The action, process, or result of combining or uniting. The threat of amalgamation with a competitor.
We're not making that the title. I don't care.
Why not?
It's too long.
Luke, say something else.
All right, fine. We'll do amalgamation.
Bye.